Number one, people are not eating well. It's the number one issue. The food is lousy, and we're eating crap. If you fix the food system, because if you go to third world countries where people are still in villages, they don't have chronic illness, and they don't take supplements. That's the measure. You know, people in the city say, why must I take supplements? Because you're not in the village. If you're in the village and you're really eating very well straight from the earth, the sun, you sleep well, you're drinking healthy water, right? There is no freeway toxicity, right? There's no mercury. They're all very healthy. What do they get sick of? Infection. From the water or from the flu. That's all that they get. Apart from that, they're very healthy. So that's the reference that we need to look at and say, why are the people in the urban areas getting sick and people in the villages are not? Right? Which is what the blue zones are. And so we begin to look at all these imbalances. Look at the mind-body, body-mind imbalances. Right? Most of the stress, for me, it's been a very interesting journey, because in my village, my grandparents owned the land and owned the house. They didn't pay any tax on the land they owned or on their house. So there was no stress to have money. There was no stress to have food, because we had a farm and we farmed all the time. There was no stress to have water, because the stream was 10 minutes up the road by the hillside. There was no stress. You come to the city, everything is stressful. The question is, how are we going to manage that stress? Right? And so you need to really look for ways. I don't have solutions for it. You need to look for ways to say, how do I contain my life and reduce the stress? For example, let me give you an example. I used to live in LA and drive to Orange County a lot, even late at night. And I remember I used to get a lot of tickets. You know, I'm a black man, right, driving in Orange County. So that means that the cops are going to stop me driving an expensive car. So what's the solution? I don't drive late at night. So they don't stop me and give me a ticket, because all my friends drive 75 miles an hour. The cop stops me and say, you're driving 75 miles an hour. I say, well, everybody else is. Oh yeah, but I caught you. That's what they say. What are you going to argue? Actually, you're not supposed to be driving 75 miles an hour. What's the speed limit? 65. You see, that's how they catch black people. I don't call it racism.
They catch white people too.
Well, my experience is that I'm black. I don't know whether they catch white people.
They do.
I just know that they catch black people. Hey, I didn't say it was racism. I just said I know they catch black people, right? So how do I reduce that stress? I don't drive late at night.
Just don't drive fast.
Some people on the freeway drive at 40. They kill me, right? Or don't drink and drive. So you cut down your stress. So let's talk about the 4 areas that we explore. So if you have just been diagnosed, we talk about preparing you, strengthening you, and fortifying you. We really want to build your immune system, and because most people who go through cancer treatment, first of all, it destroys your digestive architecture. Chemotherapy destroys the gut. What, you want to blame chemotherapy? We don't have an option.
I'm surprised that you would recommend it if it destroys the gut.
Well, like I also recommend antibiotics that destroys the gut.
But you don't have a choice if you have to.
Exactly. If you have to have it, yes. I mean,
because you can fix the gut later.
Yeah, you can fix the gut later, and that's what we're just talking about.
Yeah.
There's some cancers where you need chemotherapy.
Or you die.
No, again, you see, this is the thing that I'm concerned about. We are not that kind of clinic that says do not do certain things. We are saying that it is a personal choice. You do it and we will support that choice. I need to be very clear on that. We are not promoting here that you should not do chemotherapy. That may be the choice that is offered for you, and that is the choice that you may be comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with that choice, that's your choice. Then we'll support you in whatever choice you make. So I didn't say that I am encouraging you to take chemotherapy. I didn't say that, Elizabeth. Did I say that?
No, you did not.
Good. Thank you. That's not what I'm saying. Or whether it's radiation, right? We now have some very good radiation methods, right? Why do we have to be aware of all these things? I don't want you to be shocked when you get cancer, then all of a sudden you have to know all these things. You need to know now. So they have proton therapy for radiation. What is a proton therapy? I know. We're all Americans and we could potentially have cancer and we don't know. And then the minute you have cancer, they're giving you all this information and you're like, oh my God, I'm so confused. You should know now, so that you begin to understand what those advances treatments are. So a lot of the advances in 360 proton therapy for cancer, radiation, focuses the rays to where the cancer is and then blows it away, destroys it.
Proton?
Yeah, proton therapy, yeah. Right? It's really precision radiation. I'm not saying that it is good. I'm just talking about the treatments that are available and that the equipment is becoming very, very good. Okay, in terms of its targeting. Right? Our colleague, a doctor who works with us, underwent radiation for his brain cancer and also did the surgery also. So typically, they would do the surgery. They'll either do chemotherapy plus radiation or just chemotherapy or radiation if the cancer keeps coming back, keeps growing, right? It's a very tough issue when you're trying to kill it. But our job here is to support that journey. And the key support issues for that journey have to do with your immune system and with your gastrointestinal architecture and with your energy metabolism. Because he has been in therapy, in treatment for over 2.5 years. And that depletes what I have been training here called the metabolic reserve and the physiological resilience. So I'm teaching all these things because if you don't build that capability now, when big sickness comes, you do not have the ability to survive the treatment requirements. Is that making sense? Victor?
You mean if it comes?
If it's
Yes, because we don't know
Yeah.
where you are with these imbalances, right? If it comes, right? And that's why we are very strong on prevention. We don't want it to come, but if it comes, it is important that you're very knowledgeable as to what needs to be done and that you know where to go to advise. The doctors tend to just make prescriptions and they tend to push patients very quickly through the process. And because we have a population of people who do not know, nobody can even lead you to where you could get knowledge to learn anything about it. So people are screwed. As a population, as a culture, we have chosen to be ignorant about the things that affect our lives. And so this workshop series tries to get to the heart of that matter. How do we talk about difficult subjects like DNA methylation? So that Victor is going to be waking Sunday morning, DNA methylation. What was that again? Why was Charles talking about that shit? Right? Or things like that, right? So it's important that we talk about this so we develop our health competence. And the more you develop your health competence, the more you're going to do healthy things, right? And that's why we spoke about the mutation for MTFHR and B12. the more you understand why you're taking these things, the more you are going to be compliant in taking them. Is that making sense? I used to be very stubborn and not take my supplements all the time. Yeah, I can miss it for a day or two, right? But the more you get educated on this, you realize that no, your body needs nutrients every day. If you starve it of the right nutrients, you're going to pay the price. It's as simple as that. Thank you for coming. I hope you enjoy the workshop today. You have a question, William?
Yeah, I can't remember the term for the morphing that takes place in the womb when a woman becomes pregnant. The cells change from...
You mean mitosis or meiosis?
I think that's it.
You mean which one? Because there are different things that take place.
Meiosis.
Oh, blastosis. I mean, he's the biologist, so he can tell us.
Oh, yeah, you remember T.S.
Hey, how are you doing?
And I had some question. So, yeah.
Oh, and so somebody online said, do all tumors cause cancer? And what are the major types of cancer? Can cancer be cured? Which cancer kills most? Okay. So everybody has tumors. That's what I was saying before. Not all tumors lead to cancer. The only tumors that leads to cancer are tumors that are out of control, that your immune system cannot control. And sometimes it's a benign tumor.
Can you remove?
Okay, hold on. Sometimes it's a benign tumor. The tumor just grows and stops growing, right? And sometimes it's malignant. So when it's malignant, it means the growing is uncontrolled. And so you could have those skin things and they can remove a benign tumor and it goes. But sometimes, so it depends. And we don't know what drives a tumor to be benign or to be malignant. Okay, that was the question. What else did she ask? Somebody else had a question. Can you open it?
Yeah, only and I had few questions.
All right. Did she have another question there?
Let me open.
Can you check?
The second one is the adaptogen. And
Oh, what are the effects of the adaptogens on the CNS? Oh, that's a very complicated, deep question. Tell her I will respond to her privately on that. That's a very deep question. I don't want to go that deep. Yeah, some people are making very interesting comments on Facebook. My friends are watching. Okay, any other questions here? Are we good?
I want to check my boxes and stuff and see about those 12.
All right, so we're gonna actually I want to do a review of all your prescriptions so that we can check those results again. That's why we have them online. You can actually log in and look at all your reports. Remember in the beginning when we ran those reports, that was one of the things I said, right, Victor? That you are going to be looking at them over and over and over again. Because as you become more knowledgeable, you want to keep going back and looking at the result. What does it mean? Okay. So that money that you spend was very useful. You can go back and check, wow, where's my homocysteine level? Where's my B12? Why is it like that? Am I MTFHR? So which supplements was I given? You know, we did a lot of work in building your supplement architecture to support the biomarkers that we're looking at.
I hope you do your homework on Tuesday.
For what?
I have my review on Tuesday.
Oh, they booked it already?
I hope you do your homework.
Yes, I will do my homework. Yeah, but you will not know